Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Our presentation today is on the role of occupational therapy in multiple sclerosis management. And we are 4 students from Misericordia University. We have Amanda Darling, Elise Rizzo, Lauren Schlegel, and Kayla Stollins. And our professor, Grace Fisher, has been advising us during this process. And this is Lauren speaking. All right, so our goals and objectives. This presentation seeks to answer the following questions. What is multiple sclerosis? What are the symptoms of multiple sclerosis? Who is on the healthcare team? How do occupational therapists support management for people with multiple sclerosis, specifically fatigue management at home, work, and during exercise? And how do occupational therapists provide adaptations that promote energy conservation, stress management, and other areas of symptom management? So we're going to go over a lot today, and we hope you find it interesting and informational. So what is MS? Multiple sclerosis is thought to be an autoimmune disease in which the body's own immune system mistakenly attacks normal tissues of the body. In MS, these attacks are aimed at the myelin in the central nervous system. MS affects approximately 400,000 people in the U.S. and 2.5 million worldwide. In the U.S., prevalence estimates are approximately 90 per 100,000 in the population. MS symptoms can start anywhere between 10 and 80 years of age, but onset is usually between 20 and 40 years with a mean of 32 years. And that was found from the Cleveland Clinic Center for Continuing Education. And some symptoms of MS. The severity and type of MS symptoms vary with the person. They can change over time, and they can include some sensory or motor changes involving one or both sides of the body, altering sensation, weakness, numbness, and a variety of other symptoms which many of you may have experienced.
Hi, everyone. This is Elise speaking. Next, we're going to talk about who's going to be on the healthcare team. So the interdisciplinary team approach to healthcare involves a variety of healthcare professionals across multiple disciplines that work together for the benefit of your individual well-being. So some members that may be on your healthcare team could be your primary care physician, a pharmacist, your neurologist, occupational therapist, MS nurse, and many more. So your personalized healthcare team, it's important to remember that not everyone is going to experience the same symptoms. So not everyone may have the same healthcare team members. As symptoms require management, it'll be important to explore what other resources and services will be beneficial for you. So what is occupational therapy? Occupational therapists adapt everyday activities and routines to promote independence. So our definition of an occupation are everyday activities that you engage in, such as cooking, cleaning, getting dressed, things that you find meaningful. Occupational therapists utilize a variety of strategies to assess and address symptoms or problems. Occupational therapists promote health and wellness to prevent future decline, and OTs also educate individual symptoms and how to accomplish activities as independently as possible. So what is occupational therapist's role on the healthcare team? We play an important role in your symptom management and help to support all of the other healthcare disciplines on your team. Your occupational therapist is trained to help adapt your environment and continue to allow you to be as independent as possible across all contexts of your life. Your OT will work in collaboration with your other healthcare professionals to support discipline-specific symptom management. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about cognitive decline and neuropsychological changes that may accompany MS symptoms. Most people with MS will have some significant cognitive difficulties, while others may have few or no cognitive problems. This will all depend on what type of MS you have. Some areas of cognition that can be impaired include sensory motor ability, attention and concentration, memory, spatial ability, information processing, and executive function. So first we'll talk a little bit about memory. How does this affect your daily occupations? This can be anything such as work performance, basic activities in your life, such as getting ready for every day, social interactions, and other areas. Some compensation techniques that occupational therapists may introduce to you are to structure situations, provide memory cues, which is like the picture here that you can see, practical organizational strategies. This is things such as like a family calendar or even having a system set up with your family members to ensure an easier system for you. Occupational therapists supporting your cognitive function. As part of the healthcare team, occupational therapists may consult with your neurologist or neuropsychologist to help to provide compensation techniques related to cognitive changes. Part of the OT evaluation will include looking at current activities and tasks that you would like to or need to engage in, and then assess factors that may be restricting your performance, such as memory, problem solving, or prioritizing and organization. An example would be Barry. Barry expresses to his OT that he works as a sales company and is having trouble remembering how to use his new computer system. An occupational therapist would then be able to complete their evaluation and take this into consideration. A goal for Barry could be the utilization of a reminder system to help him remember how to use the computer program at work. What can you do at home? Engaging in brain training websites such as Lumosity or FitBrains, or even things such as Sudoku puzzles or crosswords, can help to sustain and build your cognitive reserve.
Occupational therapy's role in cognitive health. This is Lauren again. So after referral from a physician or a psychologist, OTs can provide activities to promote mental health and participation in activities that are meaningful and important to you. OTs also refer people with MS to mental health professionals such as psychologists or a psychiatrist, and many other mental health professionals. And OTs will monitor mental health status throughout the therapy program. So while an OT is working with someone with MS, they'll continually monitor their mental health status and see if any changes need to be made or any referrals need to be made. And they can determine the impact of the mental health status on a person with MS and assess their engagement, level of performance, and participation in occupations and daily tasks. So working with a psychologist, when should you go to a psychologist? You should go definitely if you're referred to one by any member of your interdisciplinary team. So not only would OTs refer to psychologists, your physician, your neurologist, many people may refer you. So what should you expect in your psychological treatment? Mental health professionals educate, provide coping strategies, and problem-solving skills and emotional support. Mental health professionals include a psychiatrist, clinical psychologist, social worker, counselor, and marriage and family therapist, and neuropsychologist. And stress. We're all familiar with stress. So some physical signs of stress that you may want to be familiar with are rapid heartbeat, sweaty palms, knots in your stomach, mouth going dry, feeling drained, or a pounding headache. Some emotional signs of stress are feeling anxious about a lot of things, feeling irritable, feeling overwhelmed, or feeling pessimistic. So what is causing you stress? So maybe take a moment here or just jot some thoughts down of things in your life that you feel are causing you stress, and maybe that could be altered. So some OT recommendations for stress management. So there's many different recommendations. Some environmental strategies could include lighting a candle, aromatherapy, maybe adjust the lighting in your house or buy some flowers, something simple. Some cognitive strategies include choosing positive thoughts, practicing positive affirmations, visualizing positive outcomes, or meditating on positive words. Some creative strategies include drawing, poetry, knitting, playing an instrument, gardening, maybe going to a local concert or show. Some physical strategies are dance, maybe yoga or Tai Chi, and humorous strategies, of course, watch a comedy, tell a friend a new joke, maybe watch a funny TV show. Some spiritual strategies could be pray, take some time to participate in religious services, maybe seek to serve others. Sometimes giving in a spiritual way can help you as well. And management strategies, you could prioritize your tasks, organize some rooms, make a budget. Relational strategies, call a friend, join a social support group. I know there are many MS local support groups that are out there. And some outdoor strategies, get outside, stargaze, take a picnic, go out to dinner, just go on a walk. Something simple like that could really, if you incorporate it into your life, could really help your stress level. Hi everyone, this is Amanda. I'm going to get into some of the other symptoms of MS that Lauren and Elise had not covered yet. So I'm going to start with primary fatigue. Primary fatigue is caused by direct damage to the central nervous system that slows down reactions and connections in the brain, causing that fatigue. There are 3 types of primary MS fatigue. The first one, and the only one we're going to talk about for primary fatigue today, is the lassitude, which is extreme tiredness. It is an overwhelming feeling of tiredness that is not directly related to how active you have been or how much you have exercised. So this is some type of fatigue that is very specific to MS. Again, it has no correlation with if you had just woken up or if it's at the end of the day after a long, busy day. That fatigue can be very present at any time. It occurs daily. It can worsen throughout the day, and it can be aggravated by heat and humidity. Later on in the presentation, Kayla is going to talk about how to kind of manage fatigue in different climates, but fatigue can definitely be aggravated by being outside in hotter temperatures and in different climates. Secondary fatigue is caused by physical or emotional stress. So this is more of the typical fatigue that you may have experienced before. Other external factors such as the environment can cause secondary fatigue as well. It can be related to other medical conditions such as an infection or an injury that you've experienced. It can be a side effect from different medications. Poor diet can play into effect. Inactivity or deconditioning can make you feel more fatigued. Stress or depression, sleep problems, not being able to sleep enough, environmental causes such as lighting or temperature again, superhero syndrome or overscheduling yourself and trying to do everything on your list as possible. That can definitely play into how fatigued you may feel. And disorganization of your physical surroundings such as clutter, not being organized in various parts of your life or areas that you spend your day in can definitely play into secondary fatigue. Now that you know about the 2 different types of fatigue that you may experience, we're going to talk about some ways to conserve your energy. That way you can make it through and still engage in those occupations that are most meaningful to you. Again, occupational therapists are going to strive to keep you independent and try to give you ways to adapt to your surroundings and the activities that you enjoy participating in so that you can remain as independent as possible. So the 6 P's to energy conservation are to prioritize, plan, position, pace, keep a positive attitude, and pursed lip breathing. The first one here, prioritize. Prioritize your daily routine. Elise touched a little bit on scheduling and kind of family scheduling, but this type of prioritizing is starting your day with tasks that require a higher level of energy. While you still have that energy after you've woken up and rested, hopefully throughout the night, get those activities such as doing the laundry or kind of a higher level energy task around the house. Get those done earlier in the day so that you can do the low-level energy requirement activities later in the day when you may not have as much energy. Another way to prioritize your daily routines would be to alternate a heavy activity with a light activity to avoid that fatigue and stress. Also, eliminate unnecessary energy-draining steps to a task. For example, minimize the trips by going up and down your stairs at home by placing a basket at the top of the steps. When you're upstairs cleaning or organizing, place some things in that bin and then only take one trip up or down the steps and take that bin with you so that you minimize those trips and that energy that you're expending when you go up and down a flight of stairs. The second P would be to plan. So along with prioritizing, planning to complete your activities that require more attention, focus, and energy in the beginning of the day to make sure they get done will be very appropriate. Keeping a planner and making a checklist of things that you need to get done can definitely work in your favor, as well as trying to avoid those cognitive deficits that may come with memory loss. The third P is position. Sit down for as many activities as possible. Sitting down can help you conserve that energy that you would use standing. So for example, you could install a shower bench in your shower or bathtub. These can be purchased at your local drugstore or Walmart or any kind of convenience store. Just a simple bench to sit in there would be great for washing and bathing. Sitting down to dress would be very good to conserve energy, or a stool for lower extremity dressing as well. Keeping stools accessible throughout your home for various standing or reaching activities will just help you to prepare for any unexpected breaks that you may need while you're standing. If you have a stool available or a chair nearby, then you'll be more likely to take a break and conserve some energy and kind of prevent fatigue from taking over. We're going to go into positioning in the next few slides, but maintaining proper posture while standing, bending, walking, and being seated is very important as well. So the correct positioning you'll see is on the left side of this picture with the white background. The first little row there of the man, when he's standing, he has good posture. His back is upright. He's not hunched over. And when he starts to walk, he just kind of has a slight bend in the knee. Squatting down, you'll want to make sure that you are keeping your back flat as opposed to the incorrect picture on the right there. Curving your back and kind of hunching over is not going to be good for your posture and your fatigue levels. When you're bending down to reach, you're going to make sure you keep that back flat, as well as while you're sitting at a desk and also while you're driving or reading. We will go into each of those more in detail, but even the last one, while you're sleeping, sleep position can be very important in order to avoid having any pain or discomfort when you wake up. Positioning can be really important. So having a towel roll underneath your knees or a pillow underneath there, it can really help to relieve some pressure on your lower back, as well as having a neck roll pillow underneath your head can help to position and keep your body in alignment, which will make you feel better and well rested when you wake up. There's 3 different types of lifts that you can do and practice while you're doing household tasks or activities. The first one would be proper squatting, and that would be the picture on the bottom right corner. When you're squatting, you're going to want to keep the object that you're lifting close to your center of gravity, which just means keeping it close to your belly as possible. That way you're not leaning over and overextending the weight that you're lifting. In the second picture of the squatting series there, you'll see that the girl is keeping it close to her chest, and then when she finally rises, she keeps it close to her chest as well. I would recommend squatting and lifting an object that is light, that you know you can lift easily. For an object that's heavier, I would suggest the single knee lift, and that is actually listed as number 3, and that would be the very top picture on this slide. The girl starts by kneeling down on one knee and bringing that object almost to rest on the knee that is not being kneeled on. And then to come to stand position, you'll be able to push off of the object that is resting on that knee and stand to rise, also keeping the object very close to your body. The last lift that we have here would be for a small or very light object as well, say a pen or an object that dropped to the floor. It's called the golfer's lift. You'll see golf players use this to pick up the ball or the tee on the course. You need an object to lean on in order to do this lift. So you'll lean on either a table or a bench, or in this case, a garbage can. You'll bend down to pick up the object and bend one knee, and the opposite leg will lift off of the ground straight back. This avoids pressure from being put on the knees and the back while lifting. These are all safe techniques in order to lift efficiently and to avoid any strain on your back or fatigue. The last 3 P's are pace, positive attitude, and pursed lip breathing. Pacing yourself is allowing adequate time to complete activities. This is kind of redundant as far as scheduling activities goes, but leaving enough time in between activities to rest and even just enough time to complete small activities is very important. Activities might start to take longer time to finish, but if you're scheduling enough time to complete them and not rushing yourself, that will be very important for energy conservation. The first to last P is having a positive attitude. Rather focusing on what you cannot do, try to concentrate on what you can do to maintain your independence. Members in your healthcare team will be there every step of the way to help you keep a positive attitude, and the support system that you build around you will play a very big part in keeping this positive attitude up. The very last P is the pursed lip breathing. This can be done throughout all activities in the day if you're feeling anxious or if you are feeling short of breath and tired. You can do this standing or sitting, but sitting would be more relaxing. You'll count to 2 when you inhale, and when you exhale, count to 4 and keep your lips pursed, almost like you're whistling, so that a small amount of air is able to be exhaled while you're breathing out. This just helps you kind of bring your heart rate down and calm yourself. If the air takes longer to leave your mouth, you'll really focus on inhaling and exhaling, and it will be a relaxing technique. Moving on to work adaptations to manage your fatigue. There is a proper way to set up your workstation. This picture here is what a perfect workstation looks like, but that's not always where we are sitting to work or do things. I would try to avoid sitting on the couch and looking down at a laptop. That way your neck isn't put in a strange position. It's always best to be seated at a desk. Important reminders here. I know there's a lot of measurements, but if your back is flat against the back of your chair, if your knees are at 90 degrees, your feet are kind of up on a lift, not down on the floor, and if your elbows are at 90 degrees, that's a very good way to set up your workstation. Also, whatever monitor or screen that you're looking at should be eye level so that your neck is in a neutral position and you're not straining your neck or your eyes by looking down. This is a big one. How does MS affect my ability to drive? Driving is the key to independence, and since you are hoping to keep your independence for as long as possible, focusing on driving safely is very big. So cognitive changes can affect your ability to drive, your muscle spasticity, which may be consistent or inconsistent. You may have weakness, stiffness, cramps, or pain. That can definitely impact your ability to drive. Getting into or out of your vehicle, loss of sensation, impaired coordination, slowed reaction time, fatigue, seizures, blurred vision, blind spots, double vision, or loss of color in vision. Those are all things that can affect your ability to drive. Not to mention any cognitive changes that happen. Multitasking is something that you're constantly doing while you're driving. There's pedestrians crossing the street, you're listening to music, you may be on the phone, talking to someone, you may be talking to a passenger. All of this is going on while you're trying to follow directions or even just drive a routine route to school or to work or to pick up a family member. So multitasking is a very big cognitive ability to be able to have in order to maintain your driving ability. So what can OTs do? OTs can help you remain independent and help you make adaptations to keep your independence in driving. So there are driver rehab clinics, which are often located in medical centers and may be available in your community. At driver rehab clinics, you may find an occupational therapist or a driver rehabilitation specialist, which is typically an occupational therapist, and they may perform an evaluation to assess your driving skills if that's appropriate. You may be referred to a driving rehabilitation specialist or to have an evaluation to assess your driving skills by any of your other team members on your healthcare team, specifically your neurologist or your primary care physician. Having this evaluation does not mean that your license is being taken away. It's just assessing you to see how fit you are to drive. And it can also help by making recommendations for adaptive vehicle equipment and also lead to maybe an on-the-road test or behind-the-wheel evaluation. Adaptive automobile equipment, there's quite a few listed here, but there's many adaptations that can be made in order to conserve your energy while you're driving. You may not think of it, but if you're going on a long drive, turning the wheel can become very exhausting. Stepping on the brake or the gas or turns or getting into and out of the car can definitely increase your fatigue and decrease the energy that you have to do other activities once you get to where you're going. So any adaptations that can be made to decrease that energy expended would be great. So there are mechanical hand controls, a driving ring, which can help operate the gas and the brake, a spinner knob to turn the wheel, which is pictured to the right, adaptation steering or brake mechanisms that require less effort, a joystick or a one-handed device, a wide-angled rear-view mirror or larger side mirrors, specialized seats to ease vehicle transfers, which can rotate and then you can easily step out of the car. There are lifts for stowing wheelchairs and assistive devices, and there are lowered floor vans equipped with ramps or lifts to accommodate a wheelchair if that is the case. All adaptations require training, and these adaptations come after the evaluation has taken place. There is the National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association. The website is nmeda.com. This is a really good resource to check out. Or even save for the future if you think that that might be something that's appropriate. It sets the industry standards and lists all of the certified dealers near you that sell adapted vehicles. They have a host of resources and different adaptations that can be made to your vehicle. Now here are just some pictures of different adapted equipment that can be made. There's the turning wheel, or the knob for the spinning steering wheel on the left, and then there's also the handle down to the right that you can see, and that would be for the gas and the brake instead of using the pedals to drive. And the right picture is an adapted chair that then kind of rotates out so that you wouldn't have to swing your legs around to get in and out of the car. You would simply sit, and then the chair would either automatically move itself or you would, with a click of a button, be able to rotate it. That way you can just stand to get in and out of your car. The last thing I'm going to talk about is disabled parking placards. This is something you can really use to your advantage, although you might not be super willing to apply for one or ask for one. But being able to park closer to your destination can save you a lot of energy and allow you to run the errands that you planned on doing, going to different doctor's appointments and shopping or traveling and participating in family fun activities, not just doctor's appointments. If you're able to park closer to the entrance of the shopping center or the activity that you're going to, you won't have to waste all of that energy walking to the destination that you have. It can really come in handy, so that way you can continue and complete your activity without being tired from the walk to your building. You can talk to any one of your doctors about getting a placard if you feel that you would benefit from this.
Hi guys, this is Kayla. I'm going to be talking the last few slides here. So we're going to start with the OT's role in energy conservation and the use of assistive devices. So occupational therapists can provide a number of different gadgets that can assist you in your everyday activities to help conserve that energy that we've been talking about. So in the picture here, the first thing listed is a leg lifter. A leg lifter can help you put your foot into the big hole at the right of the picture, and you'd put your foot in there, and it can help assist you by pulling on the opposite end to put your leg up onto the bed, into a shower, or even into the car. Then the second one is a dressing stick. This can assist you getting dressed, putting a shirt on, taking it off. You can use the hooked end down there to push things off or to hook it and help swing it around to your other arm. And then the little hook at the other end can hook onto zippers to pull them on or off, and then to even reach down and get those shoelaces and untie them for you. Then the third thing listed is a reacher. The reachers help you reach things that are out of reach. Say you're sitting on the sofa and the remote control is just a little too far away. You can use the reacher to kind of grab that and bring it closer so that you don't have to get up and get it or bend over and reach and get it. It helps with a lot of different things. If there's socks on the ground that you can't reach, you can just use the reacher to grab it and bring it up towards you. And then the third thing, or the fourth thing listed, is a long-handled shoehorn. So the shoehorns can come long-handled or short-handled. They help you get your shoes on and off. And then the last thing listed is a long-handled sponge. This helps you reach parts of the body that are difficult to reach, the bottom of your feet, your back. It helps you so you don't have to reach over and bend over and use that energy. And all these are displayed in the next video on the next slide.
A few pieces of adaptive equipment that we're going to go over is a long-handled shoehorn, a dressing stick, a reacher, and a sock aid. First, I'm going to show Kayla here how to take off her shoe using the long-handled shoehorn. She won't have to bend over at the waist. She can just reach down along the side and slip the back of her shoe off. She can also take her sock off with this tool, like so. So this is an energy conservation technique for dressing, so you don't have to use as much energy to bend down. Now Kayla can use her reacher to reach her sock, all while sitting still. And now I'm going to show her how to use the sock aid. So the sock aid you can put in between your legs to put the sock on, or you can press against your stomach. And you're going to put the heel of the sock facing away from you on the back of the slide here. Next, she is going to drop it down to the floor on the foot that she is dressing and pull her foot through. And there her sock is on. Kayla can also use the dressing stick that has a push and a pull hook on the bottom and a zipper pull on the other end to take off her sock, to tighten her shoelaces, or to untie her shoelaces. Your sock. The last two things I'm going to show you are two cooling towels and bandanas that you can use. These towels have little beads in them that you can wet and put in the freezer. It's good to help you stay cool when the temperatures are hot outside or you're exercising and exerting energy. You can pull this bandana and either put it around your neck or put it around your hair to keep yourself cool. And this is like a little scarf that can just be wet in the sink, thrown in the freezer, and then just wrapped around your neck before you go outside.
And then the OT's role in adapting activities. So Amanda did go over a lot of the concepts in this slide, but just to reiterate, when it comes to energy conservation and adapting activities, you want to remember the importance of rest. Don't wait till you are tired to rest, because then you can be exhausted to complete those activities that you want to complete in your day or that you have planned for the rest of your day. So you really want to think about your day, possibly in the morning or at the beginning of the week, what tasks and activities that you need to do and want to do during the day or during the week, and determine how much time you need and the level of energy that it takes to complete those tasks. You really want to spread out those heavy and light tasks like Amanda talked about. So if you have during the day, say you have to mow the lawn, plus unload the dishwasher, plus go to the grocery store, think about those activities and which ones are harder for you, which ones take more energy. Maybe start the day with unloading the dishwasher and then take a rest break till lunch. and then go to the grocery store, and maybe when it's cooler out in the evening or the afternoon, then you can mow the lawn. Or if you know that you have a busy day planned and you know, say on Thursday you have nothing to do, maybe save cutting the lawn for Thursday. That way you have enough rest and you know that you have enough time during the day to complete that hard, heavy activity. And then the use of good body mechanics. So like Amanda said earlier, stand close to objects that you need to move. Push or pull rather than lift. Avoid bending, reaching, and twisting, and really use those adaptive equipment that we just showed you to prevent that excess bending and reaching and save energy during the day. Occupational therapy's role in exercise and activity. So it's a great idea when you first start to work out and even through your workout journey to see a physical therapist that can help you come up with an exercise plan that is safe and best for you. PTs can determine the areas of strength and weakness and come up with an exercise plan that helps you maintain your strength and gain that strength, balance, and coordination and endurance. And they can even provide different environments that are best to work out in. There's aquatic physical therapy where you can perform the activities in an aquatic environment that will take out the gravity and help you perform different exercises that you might not be able to perform in a non-gravity eliminated environment. But if you do go to these aquatic physical therapies, we do recommend that if you call in and you consult with the clinic, ask about their pool and what type of pool is it. Is it a therapy pool that the temperature ranges between 90 to 93 degrees, or do they have access to a regular pool that is a cooler temperature? And then adapting the environment. This is where OTs really come in. We can help look at your daily activities and see where you can work out. Can you work out in the morning, in the afternoon, at a gym? Where will you work best? And then can you use any of the adaptive equipment while you're working out, or can you use the different cooling products that we have shown in the picture here? So Polar products have a lot of different varieties of cooling products. They have neck wraps, wrist wraps, vests, and you can even use these during activities like cutting the lawn or doing gardening that will help you keep you cool during the day. Occupational therapy's role in adapting leisure activities. So this is what OTs love to do. Finding ways that you can enjoy your leisure activities and do the things that you love to do. OTs can help adapt and or modify activities to make them accessible for you. A diagnosis of MS doesn't mean that you have to give up on activities that you love to do. And that is what makes our job such a great job, where we can provide and change things so that you can continue to do the things you love to do. So some examples: adaptive skiing. You can have built-up handles for the skis, different types of skis. A lot of resorts do offer different lessons and provide different skis for a wide range of disabilities. Adaptive bowling, so you can use ball pushers or the ball launcher and ramp. Adaptive golf, building up the grips on the handles. And adaptive cycling, different seats you can use, angles, and different types of wheels. So gardening. So you can have different types of indoor or outdoor patio gardens that can save time and energy. Using raised flower beds for energy conservation. You don't have to bend over, get up and down. Maybe you can sit in a chair or a wheelchair. Choosing plants that need less attention and less labor intensive. And then using different adaptive gardening tools. Tools with bigger grips, different angled handles, like in the picture, the first picture on the left there, that can assist you in proper wrist position. And you can also use different electronic equipment to do the heavy work, like the oscillating hose. OTs supporting nutrition. So the use of OTs in nutrition, we can really work with the team to determine and identify some hidden imbalances. Is it time management to meal prep or lifestyle modifications that we can help adjust, use some of those calendar techniques that we talked about earlier to help plan meals? And then OTs can help with the process. We can take what the doctors and dietitians and nutritionists recommend and help you organize it and show you different ways to make a schedule, to make a meal plan, to use calendars, grocery lists, and the list goes on. We can even help with changing things in your kitchen to make meal prep easier. The use of lazy Susans, so you don't have to reach up into cabinets. You can just have it accessed right in front of you. Different magnifiers to help read labels and recipes. And the use of built-up equipment like the cutting board here, which you can place vegetables on so you don't have to hold it. You can just use the knife to cut it. Built-up utensils with bigger grips. These all can make meal prep easier. Okay, and then a summary of everything that we just went over. So your personal health care team can help you in every aspect of your life. Occupational therapy can help keep you independent at home, work, on the road, and in activities that make you happy. And occupational therapists can support the role of your physicians and other healthcare members. It's really a team aspect and everyone working together to help you. And then we really want to thank you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come here and to listen to our presentation. We ask that if you could just take a couple minutes to complete the attached survey and provide us with any feedback about how effective this presentation was, things that we can change and improve on upon the future so that we can help more individuals like yourself.